Hello everyone, Conscientious Reefer here. In today's video, I'd like to discuss my reef tanks, give you guys a little update about it, and then just discuss the future of what's to come with this channel. So let's hop right into it. So, starting with my main tank, probably the biggest difference is an equipment piece, and that is my new light. I ended up getting the new Hydra Edge 44. I'm pretty happy with this light. I really like the color. I like how it has way more power. I've slowly shifted this tank to be more SPS dominated, more Acropora dominated. So I'm sure this is going to be much better than the Prime ever was. The spread is like really good. There's a lot less shading going on. For that reason, and I also cut off that big style foil, which I'll get to in a minute. But really like the light. Really like that the fan on here is really easy to clean. Very easy to clean. All you have to do is just pop this off, and you don't have to take apart the whole light or anything. Very, very convenient. But this light was a total nightmare to mount. A complete nightmare. I'm gonna make a separate video about all this, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming in a couple weeks. But going back down to the tank, probably the biggest difference you can immediately tell is, if you guys are regular viewers of the channel, you know that the rock right here used to be full of green Recordia mushrooms. And it was really mature rock. I had it, ever since I started, so it was like 3.5 years old. And it just, the mushrooms were too invasive. Everyone has that problem. Like, oh, you put mushrooms in the tank because they're a bit beginner easy coral, and then as kind of evolve as a reef keeper, they kind of become more of a pest. Like, it got to the point where I was ripping them out with bone cutters and just throwing them away. So I actually ended up just, selling the rock and putting in a new rock. I like I said, I'm trying to go more SPS Acropora dominated. So obviously the first coral I put in is a Acropora. Its color's not the best right now. It doesn't show up as good on camera, but I just put it in, and Acropora always seems to change color in my tank, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worst. So we'll see how this coral evolves in my system. But I have plenty more space on this rock for other corals. I'm going to Reef Palooza, so that will be exciting. Stay tuned for that video as well. But the next biggest thing is, I do not have the style for it in this tank anymore. I just cut it clean off the rock. Style for it, if you ever tried to cut it, it's pretty thick. I had to get a little Dremel, and then diamond blade Dremel, and then just saw it off the rock like that. But I actually still do have the main colony of stylo. I'm kind of thinking about puttying out that bit of stylo, or just letting it grow back and cutting it again. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. The problem was it would just grow so quick. It just completely outpaced all the acros and things I had in this tank. So it had to go. Beautiful coral, but I actually still have it in this other system over here. I just set up this frag tank. I kind of had just like a bunch of spare, I had a spare power head for it. I had a filter, had a ATO for it, and then I just used the Prime for my old tank. And it's a really bare bones system, but that's all you need sometimes. So I've just been keeping a lot of the frags and stuff in here that I've been producing for my main tank. It kind of looks a bit bare. I just took in a huge batch to my local fish store, so that's why. But like a couple days ago, this tank was full of corals, and I just needed a place to store them before I could sell them, because I just didn't have the room in my main tank for that. And who wants to have a bunch of frag racks and stuff in their main tank that's supposed to be a display? But I also did add another power head, just another J-Bow power head. Absolutely love these little pumps. Sure, you can call it overkill, but if you look at where these corals are from, they're just getting so much flow all the time. And now having 3 of them, I can all run them, not at 100%. Like, I was running the other 2 at 100%. So now I could, crank them down to, 75% and be okay. So just giving me varied flow. So about the future of the channel and what's to come. As I said earlier, I'm going to be making a video about the light, a review, my initial thoughts on it, and I'm going to be doing another video of Reef Palooza. Looking forward to going. I will be going on Sunday. So I know I don't get as good as, you get better deals on Sunday, but you don't get all the cool stuff like on Saturday. It is what it is. That's just how it is. But the future of this channel, I do want to upload more. I just been so busy with life. Sometimes life gets in the way of our hobbies. So I'm going to try my best to get 2 videos out per month, but it more likely to be 1 per month. But I'm going to try to do 2 videos a month. So if I do more, that's great. But some that might be all I can manage. All right, guys. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It just shows me that you like the content I'm producing. Sorry for the long gap in uploads, but yeah, my next video will be about that. So stay tuned, guys. All right, bye.